Congressman Mac Thornberry, Vice Chairman of the House Armed Services Committee. My guest now, and sir, good morning to you there on Capitol Hill. I thought it was very revealing, Samantha Power's strong statement. What do you think we do now?
Well, I thought she did a good job of laying out the evidence about Russian involvement in fanning the flames of this conflict. Like y'all, I went back and looked at President Reagan's statement after the airline downer, and I'm struck by the fact that he used very clear language. He called it a massacre, an act of barbarism, a crime against humanity. He called the Soviets out for not telling the truth. But even more important than what he said was what he did. And he took several steps to isolate the Soviets from the rest of the international community, and he called on Congress to increase the defense budget. That's what the president needs to do in a few minutes. He needs to speak clearly, and he needs to make sure that we take steps to increase the defense and intelligence capabilities all around the world.
It would appear that Vladimir Putin has stuck it in our eyes several times now, if you go back several months and perhaps even several years. Does Putin listen to us today?
Not really, and so that's why what we do is more important than what we say. But the rest of the story is it's not just about Putin. You know, the headlines of today are world in crisis. But you can be assured that the people in North Korea, in Iran, Al-Qaeda, ISIL in Iraq and Syria are watching how we respond. So it is about Putin and Russia, but it's also about all these other crises that are going on around the world. Do they see the United States as strong and decisive and leading, or do they see us as a paper tiger who gives good speeches but never backs it up?
Speaking of speeches, what would you like to hear from the president? I mean, how strong is the statement? What does he say? How direct is it? What do you think?
Yeah, it needs to be clear, and it needs to be backed up by evidence. And you just heard a good recitation of a lot of the evidence we have about Russia fueling the flames of this in a variety of ways. So he needs to be clear and direct, and what he says needs to be backed up by evidence. But again, far more important than what he says is actually what he does. And there is no substitute for a strong United States military and intelligence presence around the world. People see us receding around the world while the crisis just gets inflamed. He's got to turn that around for the sake of the country.
All right, Mac Thornberry, thank you for your time from Capitol Hill there. Thank you, sir.